Howls over Baaz. I'm Jacob Casas.
And I'm Ronnie Adams. Welcome to the Love Connection. Today we have a special guest, Luis Vasquez. He's a DJ, mortgage banker in the real estate industry.
Entrepreneur.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you, brother.
Welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. It's an honor. So we're here to chop it up a little bit about the Love Connection and what it's all about, and kind of dabble into what's going on in today, in the past, a little bit about me, I might interview you guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's see how it's at.
So Howls over Baaz, what we do is we like to go over a lot of the people that are in any field that they're in as a leader or entrepreneur, and we want to show the people how they got to the point that they're at, but not being just hidden in the background, or a person that's just kind of goes with the flow, a sheep, a Baaz, that's what we call, right? Yeah. We want to see how you held in every industry that you've been in, how you held in the DJing industry, how you had as a mortgage banker. So we want to see how you actually put your best foot forward to become that, to become strong as a person in those industries. So I want to talk a little about your DJing career. How did you even get in that career?
Yes, tell us your story.
Well, it first started, first of all, I'm a third generation DJ. So it started as, there's my first cousin who was a DJ back in the 80s. He was mostly like a disco and old school. Then cousin number 2 came right after him. We passed down the torch to him, and he came in the early 90s. Back in the house music days, that's back when Rosarito started popping and all the cool clubs in LA and all that. And then from there, I think I came in around, I started in 8th grade, like in 1998. I started in 98, as a kid. Again, I grew up with just listening to the radio. Just listening to these mixes on the radio late at night while all the kids are outside playing with their video games. I was listening to the radio to these mixes. I'm like, wow, recording tapes, and then I'd watch other DJs, like my cousins. I'd watch other DJs at parties as a kid, just being that nosy little kid going, oh, that's pretty cool. Whenever you see a kid at the DJ booth, that was me, and then, then you had movies like Beat Street that came out that just cultivated and changed the game, the history of, hip hop, with breakdancing and DJing and graffiti and being a rapper. And I was like, man, I thought that movie was great.
So you're all into the whole hip hop art form.
The whole thing. Well, I was mostly a breakdancer first. I started breakdancing in elementary school. Again, the cousins were breakers and DJs. I kind of, I was like the off the family tree, the third generation. And so I was a breakdancer. Then I just had to get turntables, man. So around 8th grade is when I begged my grandma, and sure enough, she put them on layaway for me. She didn't have too much money, but my grandma always came through. She was like my guardian angel. Was like, man, I have to have these. We're going to put 2 turntables on layaway. One used one and one brand new one, both like these Geminis, and Gemini is like, how do I explain it to you guys? It's like you don't give a, the best brand back then was Technique 1200s, that would be like the Mercedes, but you don't give a kid a Mercedes the first time. You got to give him a Honda, give him something like a Hyundai. Right. So I started with the Hyundai and the turntables,
But good old grandma came through though.
Yeah, grandma came through a layaway, and I remember that day when the last payment was due, and I went and picked up, man, that changed my whole life. I gave up video games. Probably never went. I didn't see a day of sunlight outside anymore. You just want to practice. I might have had grandpa's hand-me-down records. 8 records, some disco. I remember having Thriller. I had a few records. And then I started going around and kind of soliciting my DJ services with a buddy of mine at school in 8th grade. He had the lights from Spencer's, all the DJ lights, and I had the turntables. So we kind of collaborated, like, hey, let's go DJ parties for money. So we make these little business cards, threw them out all over the school, and before you know it, we're DJing every little party that these kids had, every pizza party, we charged the parents, $150.
Nice.
And that, to us, that was a lot of money, Again, we're like in junior high.
I didn't see $150 in junior high.
Yeah, exactly. We weren't only old enough to work.
Right.
So it was a cool thing to have as a first job. So I get to play music at a kids' parties, you know, and then you're the popular kid out by Monday, you know. Yeah, it was cool, you know. So that was a cool little hustle we had, you know, and that's how we kind of get the mindset of like.
So you've
man,
always had the hustler mentality in you, regardless.
Yeah.
It's always been something in you that didn't just come from the DJing. Did you have that even before DJing?
Oh yeah, man. I remember being in elementary school, just knocking on doors. You know, I had my lawnmower, and then I had my bucket with my sponges and my towels and everything. So I used to solicit for two things. I used to door knock the whole neighborhood, and you're gonna get two things out of me. You're gonna get your lawn mowed, or you're gonna get your car washed.
Yeah, one.
And both of them are the same price.
Right.
You know, so it's a win-win. For $10, I'm gonna mow your lawn, or $10, I'm gonna wash your car.
Right.
You know, yeah. And if I do a double whammy, man, it was a great day at the comic book store. You know, yeah. So yeah, between me, remember, yeah, it was my best friend at the time, Daryl. So me and him would just walk around. We had little bikes, little GT bikes. Go knock on doors. Oh, got a yeah. You know, because we hit them up on our bikes first. And then as soon as we get a yeah, let's go get the equipment and roll back out and mow the lawn, wash the cars, and yeah, that's how kind of we started buying our own stuff as a young kid. So that sparked it.
This is the Love Connection. So DJing was your first love.
DJing was my first love, absolutely.
Is that how you came up with the name? How did you come up with the name of Love Connection?
Love Connection. Well, love is spelled LUV. You know, my initials Luis Vasquez. I kind of just, you know, you shorten it up. It gives it a little love, you know. And then I was always connecting people through networking, through love, through music, through laughs, through entertainment, and you know, through culture. You know, through whatever it was. I just always brought people together. And it was always a love connection through everybody. And you know, kind of just. It really just started as my hashtag.
Luis Vasquez connection.
The Luis Vasquez connection. I call it the Luis Vasquez experience. Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much how it started, and kind of just ran with it. You know, 'cause I went by Luis Love, so hey, you know what? Love Connection, Luis Love, kind of worked out.
Yeah. That sounds like a great name for that, though, and it actually means a lot.
Yeah, it goes so much deeper than just music. You know, it goes just by reuniting people together. You know, it doesn't matter what. You know, what your status is, color skin, what you do, what you're wearing, what you do for a living, you know, we all connect, you know, and it's a lovely thing. Yeah.
Well, what do you think made you different from other DJs? Like, what do you think that you brought to the table for the other DJs?
My golf visor, my Hawaiian shirts. That's kidding. No, but no, definitely. I always came in with a different style. So I remember when I started, you know, it was either back then there was a lot of hip hop DJs. They just either turntables used to scratch, you know, beat juggle, things like that. And I was the kid that brought the disco records, you know. So I had the disco records. That's what I knew. I knew house music, so I brought house records. So not too many kids dabbled into that. And then, you know, later on as I got deep into the DJing, I started finding more people in the party scene, like the flyer party scene. All right, you do a little bit of house. And then I started collecting more records, and I started getting more like new wave and rock and Espanol records. So that made me apart from everybody right there. So I always try to play have the sound that was a little different than everybody else because I don't want to be a cookie cutter.
So you led a whole different way of doing DJing from doing that.
Yeah, since I was a kid, I was different, just from the top. Yeah, just because again, if you're a hip hop or if you're a house, like, well, I'm gonna play new wave. I'm gonna play rock and Espanol. I'm gonna play, you know, I'm gonna play some crazy records that you know or your parents know, you know, that you guys are about, but you don't have, you know, because again, it was vinyl, and those are hard records to get back in the day. It wasn't like today where it was MP3s, Apple Music, or, you know, Spotify. There's no YouTube. It was if you wanted a song, I need to go to a yard sale, a thrift store. I need to go to a record store. You know, and there was a lot of record stores back then, but again, you had to travel for those records, and you had to dig for your records. You know, so I could be, you know, Amoeba Music. I could spend 8 hours there. I could go to DMC Records in San Bernardino. I was personally working at Empire Records in Fontana. You know, that was actually my first actual job. Working for someone was Empire Records, a record store. You know, and that was the same record store where my grandma put the turntables on layaway. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it was a pretty cool. Shout out to DJ Sergio X, Empire Records. Yeah, man. So I started a lot from over there. And yeah, over there, I learned so much, being mentored, you know, and how from the promotion side of things happen at clubs, the DJ side from the different music, to meeting the different DJs, the business side from actually, okay, well, there's not just clubs. You can actually DJ weddings, you DJ quinceañeras, corporate events, private house parties, and that's where the money's at. So it's not all those club DJs that you see. That's not where the money's at. The money is in the private. We're actually setting up in your own invested equipment to go set up, and you're spending your time with your invested equipment, and you're getting things that could get you a few grand a night.
So if we got listeners listening that are inspiring DJs and would like to be DJs,
yeah,
all they know is basically the love of it right now. What would you tell them of how they would need to start from scratch? No pun intended. From scratch to see how they would get going on this. What would you say of how would they start something like this?
Well, I definitely say learn your craft organically. Don't let technology do the work for you. Because the good DJs are the ones that could just do it by ear. The ones that are not using the sync button, the ones that are actually using, the ones that are actually using their headphones, doing it by ear manually. Those are the ones that I think come a long way. But again, technology has changed a lot over the years, so I'm not hating on it. So hey, you know what? If that technology is provided for you, then be the best at it.
And stand out.
Yeah, stand out though, but make it happen. But make it dope, because there's a lot of kids out there that I could tell you, hey, they're not using their headphones, but those guys know how to use those cue points. They know how to use a sampler. They know how to use those loops.
Right.
They can use those acapellas and with just technology. They might not be doing it by ear, but they know that again they're more technology savvy than compared to somebody's like, all right, we're gonna manually put this here with the headphones and do it by it's just different days. But I don't hate on it. So the whole grind is just be good at what you do. If you're passionate about it, go for it. Have fun with it though. At the end of the day, that's it.
Yeah.
And if you have fun with it and you love it, success will follow.
Well, what about the business side of things for DJing? What would you tell them? How would they work the business side of things?
Business side of things, well, it just depends on what kind of business you're going to get in. Like, if you're just planning just to DJ clubs, well, good luck with that, because that's going to take a while, I mean, that was just...
You said the money's not in the clubs either.
The money's not really in the clubs, and I'm not saying that there's no high-paying clubs. Like, when you make it, when you're getting booked to travel, and you're getting on planes, you're probably going to get a nice, hefty check for it. But, again, there's only the top 2% of that. The rest, if you're just DJing a local club, don't expect too much out of that. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Open to, again, expanding to corporate events. Expand to doing a wedding. Learn how to rock a crowd against you. I mean, that's what the challenge is. It's not just anybody go to a club, they'll dance to anything. The real challenge is that if you're doing a wedding, you're doing a corporate event, you're doing something more exclusive where you have to tailor your sound to what the event is, that's where the skills is at. But then that's where your paycheck reflects too.
So they got to learn to rock a crowd. I mean, that's number one.
Yeah, but when you're investing your own time to book a contract, to coordinate, to actually set up the night, and you're setting up the playlist and everything to rock that night, that's where the money is at the end of the day. Because again, you're gonna get paid a couple $100 at a club, at a private, and you're gonna make a couple grand.
Yeah.
Easy.
But it depends on your hustle, like you said, and how consistent you are in getting out there.
Yeah. To make a business out of it, you really have to put in the grind. Again, networking is key. You have to let people know you're a DJ. You have to let people. If you plan to be a DJ, have your social media. Put your SoundCloud is pretty much the big platform right now. Mixcloud. Back then we had demos on CD, we had demos on tapes. So if we want to be heard by a club promoter, we drop off that CD. Or unless we got co-signed by one of the homies that has already rocked with me already, then like, hey,
is that
man.
effective now, or how does that work now in this era?
I think now it might be a little different, but again, I still see people sending their SoundClouds as demos. But you got to have a social media presence as well.
That's basically
because you can't just be like a bedroom DJ with no social media and just go, hey, I'm gonna go DJ a club. It's like, man, you don't even look like a DJ.
Right.
I don't even know you're a DJ. So yeah, there's some marketing. Go get your professional photo shoot done. Go get a logo done. Create a great name. Brand it. Go get a sticker done. Come out with mixes with content. Go network with the other guys that kind of they're already in the scene. Those guys are going to co-sign you, but you got to show up. It's not just it's It's not like you just get equipment, you start in your bedroom, and all of a sudden you'll be booked next week. It does happen, but, don't expect a big gig out of it. And just be consistent with that.
So how did you get from DJing, the whole party life scene, to banking?
Well, I was never the type of man to ever put my eggs in one basket. So in high school, I had a mentality already. So while the kids were working at Burger King, at Subway, at the shoe store on Terra Mills, I was like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna do a wedding on a Saturday night. I'm gonna do clubs, and I'm gonna go work at the record store. So I kind of had like little multiple streams of just cash income coming in.
Money motivated.
So that right there, I was like, I can't go to a regular job. At the same time, I saw how some of my mentors and wise men that are like already in the scene, they're like, don't just count on this. It's fun right now while you're young, but don't count on it. So I got the mentorship of just don't count on DJing. It's like, it's cool right now, might be good money for you now for your age, but trust me, later on, you're not gonna want to carry a speaker. You're not going to want to freaking be out till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to come back with a hangover. You don't want to be in that party scene. You might not even want to hear loud music, especially when you have a family,
right.
So that kind of went into my head as a young age. So I already had the mindset like, okay, I want to be something in a white-collar business, banking. I was always into improv and comedy and acting and theater in high school all 4 years. So I was like, man, maybe I can get in the entertainment business. But then again, I have to be careful with putting my eggs in one basket than that. How many people actually make it?
Right.
It's like, man, I can't be the next Denzel. Sorry. And then, I thought about, I was taking a lot of like ROP classes. So I took like all of them in high school. Every ROP there was, I signed up for every single one of them. So the ROP, law enforcement, criminal justice. I became a police explorer, the Upland Police Department. So I dabbled into that. Then I took the banking course, which caught my eye. And then, there's just different avenues. I had an attorney mindset too. I just didn't know what. I was young, hungry, and I wasn't sure what direction to go. And then right after high school, I just dabbled into getting a teller job. And as a teller, a bank teller, what do? I cash checks. That was my entry-level job right after high school that I applied because I was like, I'm not going to go work. I remember quitting the record store, telling the owner, I just want to see how it's like to get a regular job. So I put all my RP certificates, I typed up my resume, I went in a suit, I applied, and I did a follow-up, got the job. So my first real job was Union Bank of California.
Nice.
Yeah. And then from there, my job was a teller, which was a great job. At that age. I was like maybe 19 years old. Again, still doing the Police Explorer, still DJing, I was still going to Chaffey College. I was just doing all kinds of things, and that was one of the main things. And I got to meet so many business owners. I got to see who's cashing what checks. So at that time, that was I want to say it was in the 2000s, right before the market crashed. Everybody was balling. Back in the subprime days, everybody was balling. Everybody had the nice car. Everybody had the nice houses. Everybody's coming with fat checks.
Interest rate lows?
I don't think interest rates were low. They were just high, but you didn't need a down payment.
Oh, that's good.
That was the thing. So everybody was making money off their equity.
Right.
Everybody was making money off of real estate. Everybody was making money of the loans. Whatever business, everybody was just booming. So I remember I got inspired by this lady that came in. She didn't even speak. She hardly speak in English, And she'd bring me an $80,000 check one day, another one $60,000. It was like some fat checks. So I'm just like,
that's juicy money.
Yeah, some juicy money. Where I'm like, man, you keep it up with the attorneys here, the big dogs over here, business owners. This is just a lady that doesn't even speak English. I'm like, what do you do? She's like, mijo, yo hago el préstamo y el real estate. Yo te enseño, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to get you in, I'll teach you. I was like, okay, cool. So I took her up on that offer.
Yeah.
Again, I'm young, I'm motivated. I'm like, shh. I was like, you know what? I want what that guy drives over there. I saw who was driving what. And again, when you're young, you're into the cars first, So I was all right. I want to get me one of the convertible Mercedes or BMWs, whatever. And then, so yeah, I took her up on her offer. After work that day, went to her office. I sat down like a little student, and she, this lady is literally just telling me what all the terms are, and I'm writing them down in my notebook. I still have that notebook today too.
Nice.
Yeah, she was teaching me what FHA is, which is a Federal Housing Administration government loan for houses. She's teaching me about conventional. That's more like the 20% down, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae regulated loans. She was teaching me about first-time home buyers. She was talking about just terminology that I was like, it was all brand new to me, but she was teaching me the main things of this is what you need to learn.
Getting your feet
It's not what you're going to learn in school when you go get your license. Mm-hmm. I wasn't even licensed. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm learning all this, went back to work the next day. On my lunch breaks, I go to the business side, the business banking side, and just sit down like, hey, Jake, you're a successful business banker. Can you just teach me the application and what it means, what it does, what a client needs to do? And these guys look at me like, okay, yeah. So he's like, oh, this is what it is, this is what it is. I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you, brother. So by then, I was already getting, pumped up. Again, I was hungry. I didn't know how to transition from being a teller to I want to go do that now. So I did what anybody would do. Get yourself fired so you get some unemployment. So, yeah. So, somehow, welcome to America. I managed to get myself fired because I already knew I was going to get an unemployment check, and that was going to hold me off until my first deal. Uh-huh. And, man, that was rough. So, and of course, my first deal is always going to be your number one supporter, your family. Somebody in your family needs a refinance.
Right.
Somebody in your family needs money.
We gonna find out.
I'm making out those cold calls to the family. Hey,
yeah, we find out.
Yeah. And finally, my uncle took a chance on me. He's like, yeah, go ahead and do the refinance, And took a chance on me. I learned kind of the basics from there, and then, then I got my first check. And after you get your first check, you're like, I can't go back to my day job now. No. So then I kind of just started, again, being more hungry. I was young, and at that point I was like, well, let me solicit more people, investors. Let me go find out what the hottest thing is to sell. New home sales was big. Let me go to KB Homes and see what they're selling, and I'm going to go promote that to some people. I'm just going to throw these little classes, at the office. And before then, I was having these investor little seminars in my office. I'm only 21 years old, 21 years old, having little investor seminars, with these grown-ass people that are way older than me, looking at this kid going, what the fuck? Yeah. And before you know it, I had applications from all of them, and, I made their return on investment, like, hey, man, you buy a house from me, I knew how to manipulate the system where I knew how to get my commissions and give them some of that commission back where they want to work with me, It was just a strategy I had back then, and it worked out.
Right.
And from all those deals that we did, that was my nest egg and my cushion that made me survive this once the market crashed. Because I remember somebody telling me, well, this money ain't going to last forever. I'm like, well, what do you mean? A week later, market crashed. Wall Street, it was done. Everybody's closing up shop. Every bank was closing. Everybody's nice car that I saw outside, repossessed. Damn. Every foreclosure, everything. And before you know it, I was like, man, what am I going to do? But
so what did you do after that? Like, how did you support yourself? How did you keep going?
Luckily, I managed to save 6 figures. So with that, I managed to save it. I had bought a house, my first house at 21. I bought my car cash, so I had no payments.
Ain't too many people doing that. So
so I purchased. So I purchased my house at 21. Again, back then it was different. You didn't have to show income. You didn't have to do it. It was just a handshake. So I managed to sell the house. So I got to collect just in time enough where, I made my money and I had to lose it. Credit was good. I didn't have no debt, and I just saved it. And before things got bad, and so I lived off of savings and still grinded, still learned the game. Because in my business, don't ever think that you're set. Don't ever get comfortable. You always stay learning, no matter what.
Do you think that applies to a lot of businesses, a lot of entrepreneurs? I think
it applies with any business. Every business, whether you're just flipping burgers at McDonald's, you know what? That's going to change. Maybe a new technology comes out. Maybe there's a new form. Maybe there's a new tool. Maybe there's a new way of managing. Things always evolve.
So you got to evolve with the times.
You have to evolve with times. And you can't always think that everything's going to be the same. Like in real estate and the finance side, anyways, there's no deal that's the same. Even if you make $1 million, I don't know what past you've had. I don't know if you have any tax liens. I don't know if you owe anybody money. I don't know if you have child support. Yeah, child support. I don't know if you even claim your $1 million on taxes on your papers. Because you could be a millionaire, doesn't mean that you're on it on paper.
Yeah. Right.
So everybody has their own different story. And again, if it's not the person, it's the house. Oh, the house needs repairs. The house didn't come in at value. There's just different things to always look at, and you have to tackle every obstacle through your experiences. And now it got to the point where it's like, you know what? I don't like to call it failures. I like to call them more like lessons learned.
That's a good way
Yeah. Always.
Really
Yeah. So never look at a failure as a failure. It's just, I fucked up. It's a lesson learned.
Definitely, 100%.
It's a lesson learned, and then from there, you learn to tackle all those lesson learns over time, where you're gonna find a solution from experience. But again, nothing's ever the same. Things keep evolving. You always keep learning.
And that's what we were talking about. You always need to find a solution for a problem.
Yeah.
You don't just sit there and freak out.
Yeah.
And there could be a lot of solutions to the problem.
Yeah.
It's just that you got to find what's best works for you.
Yeah. You gotta fine tune yourself and your mindset. Because me and you could have the same exact problem, but maybe I'm just chilling about it, and maybe you're freaking out. It's a mindset. Yeah. Now who's gonna be more calm and collective and actually get to the solution better? Probably I am. Because I'm gonna be calm and collective. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm gonna tackle that problem head on.
Yeah.
And that problem could be anything in life. And again, it could apply to business. It could apply to a relationship, financially, spiritually, whatever it is.
And not putting those things off.
Yeah. Don't put it off.
Don't put it off.
Don't run from anything.
Right.
Just tackle it.
You
have to be real with yourself, though. Mm-hmm. Like, you can't bullshit yourself. You can't be looking in the mirror and go,
That's why a lot of people fail, because they put things off.
They put things off, and people are full of excuses.
Definitely.
Excuses. People will always find an excuse to say, I'll do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. I'll do it next week. Mm-hmm. Fucking, whatever, that's what it sounds like.
Tackle that shit.
Baaz.
Yeah.
Bazzing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It just sounds like fucking excuses. Now, what the fuck are you gonna do about it?
Right.
We all go up and down.
Right.
We all hit rock bottom.
Right.
We all fail.
Right.
Again, let's
in
learn.
In some area. Yeah.
We all go broke. We all have our highs. We all everything. Mm-hmm. We all lost somebody. We all everything. Whatever it is, we've all gone through it.
Mm-hmm. Well, struggles and disappointments and failures, they actually build you to be even better, to even do that job better. I see how you work on things like that. Like, do you feel like that makes you better?
Yeah, like I said, it's more like I've already had so many lessons learned that now it's like I feel comfortable with it. Yeah. And if I have another one, I'm excited about it. Because because I want to add to the list, because I learned something. Mm-hmm. Because I always be learning. Mm-hmm. Always be learning, and never be comfortable with anything, because life evolves, people evolve, just from your clientele, right? In any business you're going to notice your clientele might be different. The truck might be different. You always just have to learn from everything, tackle it, don't run from it, don't make excuses, and just get the fucking job done.
Right. I'm sorry. I don't think you told us how long you've been in the real estate industry.
So the mortgage industry. So I started in the banking. I say again, 19 years old when I got my teller job. When I started getting my feet wet as a teller, mm-hmm. And then I got into I rolled into being a mortgage banker around 21 years old, mm-hmm. And then from there, that's when I've been nonstop with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So now I'm going like 18 years now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got into it young, stayed with it, stayed dedicated, went through the ups and downs, went through times where I thought I was going to quit. I was going to throw in the towel, this ain't for me, but again, I just chose to just go with it.
If you were to tell people how would they get involved in the banking industry? Like just kind of from scratch? Like how would they start off doing that?
Getting
What would you tell them?
getting into home finance, well, you have just almost the same concept as real estate. You have to go get licensed. You have to go get your pre-education courses, but, don't do it for the money. Do it because you want to. See,
Is it tough?
Huh?
I mean, how tough is it? I mean, is it?
the business is not for everybody,
Okay.
But again, entrepreneurship is not for everybody. We need, everybody has a role in life. It's either you have it or you don't. Everybody has the same opportunities. We all could do the same thing. You could never think that you're any better than anybody else, but at the same time, you have to want it. I can't train you. You can't train me to do what you do, and I can't train you to do what I do. You
gotta have heart.
Yeah. You have to have the heart for it. You have to want it. Because again, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you drink.
Definitely.
So it's one of those things where you have to have passion, whatever you want to do, and do it because your mindset is just again programmed.
Well, how did you go? Okay, so if you said you have the passion, right? But
Yeah.
You said there was even times that you wanted to get out of it.
Of course.
So you're obviously not working with that passion at certain times, but as a man, how do you push yourself forward to continue to do what you do?
Because it's just like anything else. I could be an attorney. Am I gonna quit because I lost a case? If I was a doctor, am I gonna quit because I had a malpractice? If I'm flipping burgers or whatever, at McDonald's, am I gonna quit because I just didn't make that Big Mac right? It goes with anything. So you just have to. You can't get discouraged. Everybody fucks up. Everybody fails. Everybody learn, but that's the way you learn. And that's how you can become a better version of yourself is by learning. It's just like riding a bike. How many times did you fall off your bike when you learn how to ride that GT dyno? Yeah. It's like, man, how many, before I got it down, how many times did I almost break my neck when I was learning how to break dance?
Right.
It's true. How many times have comedians tanked before they became famous on a comedy stage?
Yeah.
But as you do this, you're gonna start building love for what you do.
You always gotta build love for what you do. You just gotta find that. You gotta find the it factor of where you're gonna tolerate if you fail. Because again, I can't just go do any job, and if I fail, I get discouraged. I'm like, all right, but it has to be something I want to keep doing. And have your reason why. Just like having a family. You
Not
have
just
your
about
why.
the money, but you have to.
Yeah, you have to have the passion hard for it. Yeah, and then the success follows from there.
So what would be the next step for the Love Connection for you, like as a whole, like even in banking, in DJing? What are you trying to do to move forward, or to maybe go in different avenues?
What's your next step?
Yeah, what's your next?
My next step, well, you definitely want to become a leader in your community. So you want to keep inspiring. You want to keep helping families. I want to be I want to become an influence, and at the same time, just keep doing what I'm doing because I do everything humbly. I don't think I'm better. I try to fly off the radar. I don't try to floss what I have or don't have. I don't try to be Mr. Big Shot. I don't try to have a big old social media presence, trying to brag. I try to stay off the radar, but at the same time, people who know me that, hey, this guy is legit. He's gonna help me. And the music thing, I'm gonna open up avenues with with the house music. We have a little DJ collective called Dirty Love. So we're gonna play. We play a lot of great disco house, some nice dirty beats, and we're gonna do a lot of good house events. I'm gonna try to tap into satellite radio. We have some mixed shows coming,
Oh, wow.
some more tour dates, some music festivals coming that I've lined up. So I'm excited for both avenues. So the launch of my taking the mortgage business to another level, where it's like, hey, I'm gonna expand it, and have a great team behind me. I have my team, the Luis Vasquez team, out there in Rancho Cucamonga with the American Financial Network, and and then again on the music side of things, it's a hobby. Again, there's nothing I put all of my eggs on one basket. It's a hobby that I'm going to keep on taking with me for the rest of my life. With Dirty Love.
I like the way you said that. You don't want to show off, but you just want to handle your business.
I just handle my business, man.
As a man.
Yeah.
I'm a
Because you
businessman,
see a lot of
so I'ma
people.
handle it that
You
way.
see a lot of people that talk a lot. They post a lot. But they don't know how to pull up. So it's like, hey, I don't want to tell you what my game plan is. Let me just pull up
And I'm gonna show you
And I'm
what
gonna show you. Yeah. So I want to show you, and I'd rather do it like that, humbly.
Right.
You know, whereas
Well, that's
like
kind of old school if you think about it, like the way we do things when we're older. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So we're used to doing things face to face.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, they want to like post and do all this stuff.
And that's funny that you say that because I was just talking about that at my team meeting today, where my niche services as a mortgage banker is not being the tech guy that I'm going to Zoom you and send you a link to take an application. No, I'm going to actually get in my car. I'm going to go to your house. I'm going to sit down with you, even if it's 8 o'clock at night on my time, because you have to work. And I'll make sure and respect your family time. And I'm going to sit down and I'm going to go over the proper steps, the paperwork, the buyer education. You know, go over all the disclosures, everything that you need to know on my time, and face to face on a personal level, where you're going to want to value my time, my services, and my trust is earned. And again, I'm earning your business, you know, compared to somebody who's like, I just emailed you a link, or go ahead and fill that out, and I'll get back to you in about 24 or 72 hours. No, it's a personal business.
Personal one-on-one.
It's a personal one-on-one where you're not going to want to go nowhere else.
Right.
So why would you go nowhere else when I just took the time to?
And I don't have anything to hide. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I have nothing to hide. You know me. You know me as a person. I'm not just a number now.
Right.
I'm not just I'm not just Rocket Mortgage, an app. You know, I'm not a call center.
Definitely.
You know, I'm actually meeting with you in service, bringing value through education, through again, through me just holding you by the hand and just doing the little things that a lot of people don't like to take the time to. You know, I'll make time for you on a weekend. You know, 7 days a week. People are afraid to work. People are literally afraid to work nowadays. It's crazy,
Right.
especially the
I
younger
agree.
generation.
I agree.
It's easy to honestly walk all over them, especially at our age, because we're used to doing that face-to-face stuff. We're
Yeah.
used to grinding.
Yeah.
And it's like a lot of the younger people, they're just not used to grinding.
No, they're not used to
Knocking on doors.
For real.
knocking on doors, wasting their gas, wasting their own time. Again, our business, it takes a lot of sacrifice. And getting in any business, and especially my business, is not going to happen overnight. Sometimes doesn't happen in the first year. So that's where a lot of people want to quit.
The grind.
Yeah, it's the grind. You know, a lot of people have that mentality. Well, I'm unemployed to the next deal. No, don't think that way. Think the next deal's coming.
Right now.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
you have to do your affirmations. You have to think your money.
Always think the next deal is coming.
Always think the next
That's
deal.
a good one.
That's a good one.
Always,
That's
yeah,
a good one.
So never gonna be, I'm unemployed to the next deal. No, it's the next deal's coming. You know, you just don't know when in the month, but it comes, and God always just provides it, man. You know, you ask for fish, you'll get fish. You know.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So I mean, you said God too. So where does God go in your life for you and your career and business?
Oh, everything, and that was in my whole life. Being spiritual is now. Let me disclaimer: I am no Bible thumper. I'm not a guy that goes to church. I love to have a good time. Trust me, I am no angel.
But the respect of God.
By my respect, my spirituality, with my personal relationship with God, comes key just in my life in general. And yeah, because every time I get a lead, thank you for the lead. Every time I close a deal, yeah, when I go and deposit my check, you kiss a check, you say your prayer, you say thank you.
Gratitude.
Every morning, when you wake up into a nice bed, to a nice house, thank you for putting a roof over my head. Thank you for food on the table. Thank you for the clothes on my back. Thank you for the opportunity for me to help families. And I actually pray every morning for me to give me the power, the strength, and the knowledge to be able to help people and bring those people to me so I can help them. And putting that out there every morning, that's exactly what's happening. People get put in my path for my help, for my direction. And it's cool to be utilized that way because, you know.
And see, I feel like that's a good way of looking at how you're doing your business, because you're going out there to service and help people, and like other people are going out there. A lot of people that do sales are trying to sell their business or sell what they're selling, what they're doing. They try to look at, they're just trying to make a sale.
Yeah.
But you're going out there saying, this is what I can help you with. This is my service to help you.
Yeah. So I try to do it because I care. You know, again, the success, the money, your perks, your everything it just comes with the territory eventually. But you don't look at it that way, you know, because I look at like I just helped the family out. You know, I just educated this one person where everybody was turning him down because he didn't have the credit or the money because on paper he's a bum. I was like, okay, well, let me help you. Let me tell you, I'm going to take an hour of my time to sit down and educate you. I'm going to tell you what you need to do. You might have to get maybe 2 or 3 co-ballers. That's fine. Bring them.
And I'll be right here.
And I'm going to be right here waiting for you. But I made you your list. And guess what? You're going to think of me when you do that. And you're going to go home with that knowledge, that key knowledge that you didn't have before, because somebody else didn't want to take the time to do it for you because you told them that you had bad credit. Because you told them you had no money. Because maybe you told them you had no job.
Right.
You know? And that's fine. But some people just need that little education. You know, again, we all need to learn how to ride a bike. You know what I mean?
And someone who cares.
And someone who cares. Yeah, we need training wheels. You know? So we all need someone who cares and make it happen. And so doing those little things with that person, maybe that person might not even do it. But guess what? That person will become your number 1 advocate. And they'll refer you other people.
Right.
They're like, well, my rich uncle does.
Right.
I can't buy, but my rich uncle can.
Right.
You know, my cousin, my sister can. You know,
Staying active
everybody.
is important.
Yeah.
Just staying active.
So just doing those little things, dropping those seeds, goes a long way. Referrals. You know, a lot of business is done a lot through referrals. You know, so you know, because again, there's a lot of people that have my job, a lot of people that have your job. But again, what's going to make you different is that you service that person. You know, differently than everybody else did, you know, and just taking the time, being passionate,
Putting your heart into
it, it comes, it's great. It's great. And it's the same thing. Like I always pray every morning, you know, let me make a difference in this world, one thing at a time. So whether I'm making you dance or I'm making you laugh or I'm helping you with the home loan or I'm just giving you some advice as a friend, just having a beer with you, I want to make a difference whatever way I can, one step at a time. That's it, you know, and it becomes a beautiful thing.
That's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a great way to look at things when you're out there selling. You know, because you're really not just selling your service.
No.
You're educating people about what you do and how you do things.
And I'm educating them, and I'm helping families out.
Yes.
Where they're like, again, you'll be surprised how many people have not been helped. You know, and just taking that small little effort.
So what do you do when you get when you get frustrated in any of your business or any of the fields that you're working with? Like what is your
frustration?
Frustration. What do you do with frustration.
Oh, it's easy. Work harder.
Work harder.
Work harder. Yeah, that's it. So when you're frustrated or like, man, I'm having a bad day, well, I'm gonna work hard and tackle this tomorrow.
Good.
You know, I'm gonna figure this out. You know, pray about it.
Work harder is good.
Work harder. Just work harder. You can't give up on yourself. You can't give up on the people that depend on you. You know, I have a team. You know, if I just give up, then I'm giving up on them. If I give up on,
and they can't see that.
Yeah, they can't. You can't see. You can't show that you're weak. You know, don't get me wrong. We all have a weak spot, but you can't show it. You always have to kind of always put a smile on your face. You know, and you always just have to just kind of just tackle everything with a positive attitude. Attitude is everything. It's a mindset. You know, it's a mindset, you know. And again, we all wake up sometimes the wrong side of the bed. We might not have the best day. You know, I got in a fight with a girl the next day, but, you know, whatever it may be. Just life, whatever life happens.
Yeah.
You can't bring that to work.
Yeah.
You have to change it, you know. And
a woman can actually dictate a lot of what you do in your life on how you, from work to, I mean, health to anything.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you deal with that in your career and your business? I mean, I don't know if you have. Are you
That's easy. I never got married. I learned from my mentors. Never got married. Never had kids.
You gotta be prepared for something like that.
Well, yeah, because again, in high school, I'm not gonna get married after high school. I wasn't that kid.
Right.
It was like I was instant fail. In your 20s, in my 20s, I was DJing. You know, I was DJing in the nightclubs, traveling as a DJ. I was doing radio. I was doing internet radio. I was doing mobile gigs. So that would have been a fail if I was married. You know, it just comes with the territory. Living my best life. You know, and then you're learning about yourself. You're learning about credit. You're learning about finances, about supporting yourself, about money. You know, and how you're just learning so much on top of living your best life.
Right.
That would have worked in your 20s. So, and then my 30s is the new 20s, and then you're making more money. Right. So, and then that's when you're starting to get the ball moving a little bit more, and and then you get wiser and older. So. Yeah, don't get married until you're older. Yeah.
Is that because of finances?
Because a lot of things, maturity, being wise, financially. You know, I mean, what are you gonna do at 18? Why are you gonna have kids at 18,
Right.
at 20, at 21? For what?
You're still building.
You're still building.
Yeah.
You don't even. You're still a kid yourself.
Right.
I still see kids now, 25, 30 years old, still living at home. It's
Right.
crazy, you know. But and they have kids and shit. You know, like come on,
A whole family.
whole family. I'm like, nah, dude. So that doesn't really work out. So take your time, learn yourself, support yourself,
Definitely.
build your own kingdom. So when you have your queen,
You can take care of that kingdom.
take care of that kingdom, build an empire together.
Take care of that queen.
Yep, take care of that queen, but let that queen take care of you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other ways.
Yeah. just be like-minded, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And being an entrepreneur and being able to be in that mindset of you're building businesses and building things. I mean, so how would you look at it for you as an individual? How would you go about getting that woman or coming to that woman to know that this is the one that I want to be with? How would you come up with that? As you, because I mean, you have to be a little bit more protective of yourself, being an entrepreneur, and
Because even in your industry, they're
You
going
can't
to fly
think
back.
with your dick.
Okay.
You have to be smart about it. You have to think of somebody who's gonna, if I was to run for president tomorrow, who's gonna make me look good? You know, who's gonna be my wing one? You ever see the president? You ever notice that? They don't just choose,
No.
a president could get any model. Obama, swag.
Right.
He could go get any model, he had all these crushes. Bill Clinton, swag.
Right.
Could have got any chick he wanted. He got a little Lewinsky in him, but,
Right.
you know, but at the end of the day, you know, look at their women. Their women are no models, but they have it up here.
Right.
They're smart. They present themselves well. They're educated.
Right.
You know, they're not you know, all fucked up. They're not on drugs. They're not, you know, they're not out in the nightlife. These are women that they say, hey, honey, when you're down, I got you.
Right.
You know, because I'm making my own money. I'm making my own moves. You know, I make you look better. If anything, I'm pushing you. You know, behind every successful man, there's a great woman. You know, I don't know what the quote is, but yes.
So for you, like, what would you want to see in your woman for you to be able to say, okay, you know what, this is the woman that I want to be with, to build my empire with. 'Cause those people got to be very careful of the women that they bring in their lives to help build.
Yeah, you do.
Like we were talking
You
about
do,
earlier.
because one girl will ruin your energy.
Completely.
Yeah, completely.
I mean, your whole business can go down just because of your mindset.
Yeah, you'll go into a
from the
depression. You know,
Nothing gets done.
Nothing gets done. You know, you lose time. You lose energy. You're not yourself. Yeah, women will fuck you up.
And what
The
would-
power of the pussy. Yeah.
So what is that woman that you would look into? For?
Man, it would have to be a balance of things. Why? At my age, I already learned that you're not going to find a whole package deal.
Ever.
That just doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
So you can't just go for looks. You can't sacrifice looks either and just go, well, I only want a girl for her brains. Like, no, because then now you're not going to be sexually attracted to her.
Right.
And then you're going to be looking at someone else.
Right.
So you have to kind of balance a little bit of everything. You have to balance a little bit of class. You have to balance a girl that's going to motivate you, a girl that's going to push you, a girl that wants to make you a better person, one that doesn't make you look bad, you know? One that, again, if you're running for president tomorrow, she's going to look good.
Yeah.
You know, she's not out fucking around with your friends or, you know,
Right.
she's not out at a freaking nightclub. She's not fucking, you know, being a little hoe.
Right.
You know, doing a line.
I mean, even like how would you think of you being in the career you're in and you go online and you see them, you know, thirst trapping on Instagram? How do you look at that?
I laugh at it. I laugh at it all day.
As that being your woman though, like would you allow your woman to be out
Fuck
there?
no.
thirst trapping?
Nah, dude. Trust me, you'll know when a real woman comes. The real women, they're not on social media. They're too busy. You know, they might have one, but they're not active on it. They're not there liking, you know, other dudes or your friends or fucking nightclubs and shit. No, they're out there looking. They probably just have it, just probably keep tabs on your ass.
Right.
Or you know, or maybe it's not even about them. It's just like, oh, it's my travels. Oh, this is me. You don't even see pictures of them, the real ones, anyways.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Or they're just it's very limited. Big red flags when you see a bunch of selfies of girls or just a lot of pictures of themselves. Yeah, there's only 4 things you could do to be famous on Instagram. You know, just show your ass,
Yeah.
play victim.
Come on.
Come on, yeah, play victim. Yeah, man, you just have to be careful. It's so polluted. It's so polluted, but there's so many good women out there as well. You just have to find them, and so
Be patient.
take your time,
It's not a rush.
And
you should know you're the love connection.
And there's some recent advice I got. Some recent advice I've learned. Probably in the past year or two, as I'm maturing and being more wiser, is you have to work on yourself in order to attract that.
Good teaching.
That's true. It's true. Because I can't be a slob. I can't go be a loser.
And
I can't.
expect something
I'll be a party guy. Yeah, go be an asshole. Go do the opposite of what I want, and then be like, why am I not getting this woman?
Right.
In order. Yep, you have to.
I mean, everything's talking about high value man. What is that? So you basically need to know you need to have at least be valuable to a woman.
You need to be valuable to a good woman.
To a good woman.
Yeah, because a good woman will read you out a mile away too. How we could read a bad woman, same thing. They'll know. They're like, okay, they'll know if you're a fuckboy. They'll know if you're just here for a good time, not a long time.
Yeah.
They'll know. They'll read your bullshit. They'll read your bullshit. The real ones will know right away. Just like how us men.
I'm looking for them women that's for a good time, not a long time.
Hey, those are easy. Those are a dime a dozen. Those are a dime a dozen, my boy.
It's hard for me to. I don't know where.
No, the dime a
They
dozen.
trying to marry me and shit.
No. But those are the ones that want to marry you. Those are the ones that want your kid. Yeah. The dime a dozen ones.
Yeah. I want to
trying to lock you down.
Forever. Yeah, but the good chicks, they're the ones like, you have to earn this pussy. You have to wine and dine this pussy. You have to treat this pussy like a steak. You need to marinate this pussy. Okay? You like a nice prime rib, like a filet mignon bone in. Yeah, mastros. Okay? You have to earn that motherfucker. Okay, yeah, it ain't no, hey, what's up, let's get me drunk and Buffalo Wild Wings and let's go back home. No, those will make you wait.
Right.
Those will make you earn it. That's some class. You might have to go through 10, 15 dates before those are the keepers.
Good ones.
Those are good ones. Very rare, though. Very rare. Yeah, those are the ones that they have composure. Class. You could tell. They just speak a different language. Mm-hmm. They smell different too. Mm-hmm. It's like, that smells like good FICO score.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the cool part about it.
All of them been through something, so most of them are patient too. Sometimes.
Yeah, and some of them just like, I already been through so much bullshit. Like I could read you.
Right.
Yeah, but again, in time, everybody is destined to be with somebody. Mm-hmm. Our partner is out there. But again, work on yourself and that'll come.
That's good.
Yeah, because if you don't then you ain't ready.
Don't chase them. Chase the money and let them chase you.
That's true. You have to change yourself, So if you're out, with all the fuckery out there, then that's what you're going to get. So again, work on yourself. Bring your mindset. Be the best version of yourself.
That's everything.
So you could provide that to that special someone when God says, okay, here you go.
Everything.
You asked for it, here you go. Yeah, that's everything, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, how's over Baaz? We had the Love Connection in here, Luis Vasquez. We appreciate you coming out.
Thank you guys for having me, man. It's been an honor. Hopefully we'll get another segment going on soon.
You nailed it. Yeah,
you already know, because we ain't done here.
No, we ain't done.
You got too much energy. We got to bring you on again.
Yeah, brother. I'm with it, brother. I'm with it. Yeah.
Well, that being said, how's over Baaz? Thank you for coming out.
Thank you.